kindergarten and first grade ornithologists. Don't forget to send me your total counts for all the different birds you've seen on your bird walks lately using your bird tracker. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting to get all of those and count them all up to send you the total results, I wanted to show you that even on days like today, when it's kind of gray and rainy out, you can still be an ornithologist in your yard or in your neighborhood or going on walks to the park. There aren't a lot of birds out today. They're not chirping. They're not flying around. But scientists don't just look for the actual thing. Scientists are like detectives, and they look for clues. Scientists always look for evidence and clues to figure things out, and ornithologists are no different. They don't just look for birds or listen for birds. They also look for clues that birds have been here or live nearby. Can you think of some clues that you could see in the trees or in the park or in your yard that might tell you a bird has recently been there, even if you can't actually see or hear a real bird? Call some things out. What ideas do you have that would be a clue that a bird has been there recently? Did anyone say nests? Nests are a great clue to look for. And especially right now, when a lot of the trees don't have all of their leaves fully grown out yet, it's a great time to see the branches and see nests tucked around. Here, I have one in my yard. I'll show you. Up in this tulip tree, in the crook of those big branches, there is a nest. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. So I noticed this a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't there last year, and it has a bunch of sticks and a bunch of fluff and a few scraps of paper and plastic. So whatever type of bird has been building this nest is very resourceful and is using all sorts of different materials. I haven't seen the bird actually be there, but it keeps getting bigger and fluffier. And so I suppose it could also be a different type of animal, like perhaps a squirrel. But usually squirrels don't build their nests quite in that same shape. So I'm thinking it's probably a bird. But as a scientist, I'll keep watching to see if I can get more clues. But at the very least, this could be my first clue that a bird has been in that tree. Pretty cool, huh? But I would never have noticed it if I just stood back and didn't look very closely. So as a scientist, you have to look up in the trees and then kind of zoom your vision in, and then you might spot some cool nests just like that one. Can anyone think of another clue that a bird has been here recently? Did anyone say bird poop? Yep. It's kind of a yucky clue, and we shouldn't touch it. But we can still look for it and know that a bird was maybe perched above or flew above and pooped. Especially if you see a big pile of poop or a lot of bird poop in one area, that might mean there's a nest above there, or at least a branch that a bird likes to sit on a lot. So that's a good clue that you should check that area in the future for the actual bird who made all that poop. But even one poop is an exciting evidence to find of a bird. Let's see if I can find some of that in my yard. Yep, here's some bird poop. Do you see it? Hello, bird poop. That means a bird has been right over this spot. Probably flying though, because this spot is, I guess, under a tree. I guess it could be on one of those branches at some point, but also maybe just flying over my yard. Are there any other ideas that you can think of that could be evidence or a clue that a bird has been here recently? Did anyone say feathers? Yeah, occasionally you can find feathers on the ground, and that's a clue that a bird has been there recently and maybe was preening its feathers, and some of the older ones kind of came out to make room for new ones to grow. Or if you find a big pile of feathers, that might be because there's a nest above there, and the parent birds are helping to use some extra feathers to fluff it up to make it soft for the baby birds. or the baby birds are starting to molt their little baby downy feathers, and some of those are falling on the ground. So feathers are a fun clue to look for too. I wonder if I can find any feathers right now. Let me go look. I see a bunch of weeds and some grass and some old dead leaves. What's that? Is that a feather? Look at that, tucked right under the stick. Pretty exciting. I wonder what kind of bird left this feather. Interesting. What a special ornithology find. So, even if it's a rainy or cloudy day, you should still practice being an ornithologist by going out in the world and looking for clues of birds. So slap on your raincoat. Mine doesn't fit very well anymore because baby's growing down there. But you can zip up your raincoat and go out into your yard or on a walk with your family and look for clues of birds. And who knows, you might even find some birds that are braving the rain and don't care too much, like especially water birds like ducks. And crows are pretty hardy too. I still see a lot of crows even on rainy days. So no matter the weather, you can always be an ornithologist. Here are some video clips of some other bird evidence that I've seen around my neighborhood, mostly nests recently. They're pretty fun to watch out for. I look forward to seeing any pictures or videos you want to send me of bird evidence like nests or other things too. Enjoy! Wow, ornithologists, there's not a bird in this tree, but see if you can see some evidence that a bird has been here. Do you see all those holes? I bet there was a flicker or maybe even an actual woodpecker.
So I was inside my house and I heard a little pecking noise. So I went out and I saw that there was a hole in the side of my house.
Look, there's a
and
nest up
I
in
think
this
there's
tree.
a bird in there. Oh,
I
there
wonder
it
what
goes!
looks to.
What were you doing in there, little black?
Other clues around this part of the neighborhood? Look it, there's another nest across the street. Wow.
So I was inside my house and I heard a little pecking noise. So I came out to investigate, like a scientist should. And what is this hole? Wait! There was a black-capped chickadee in that hole. Let's find out what that black-capped chickadee was doing in this hole. Let's see if we can poke the camera just very gently closer into their hole. It's kind of dark in here, but oh my goodness, it looks like it's building a nest inside the wall of my house with all the grass and fluff. I wonder if there's going to be baby black-capped chickadees soon.
I spy a nest in that tree. Do you see? There's a big hole in this tree and a few little ones too. I wonder if someone's been pecking at it. Ooh, there's a hole at the very, very top of that tree over there too. Can you see that way up there? I wonder if some woodpeckers live in here. This is where I saw that woodpecker the other day. It's a nest up in this weeping birch tree. Look at that. Must be kind of a medium-sized bird to live in that nest. Do you see that nest up there? It's kind of shaped like a bag. I'm sorry that there's not very good lighting, but that is a bush tit nest. And they build these little bag-shaped nests hanging down from the branches with mosses and lichen and sticks and leaves to help hold it up. And it looks like a cozy little bag to just have your eggs in with a little hole at the top. So if you see one of these, you know a bush tit either raised its eggs in it or started building it to maybe raise its eggs or has used it right now for this season. So there you go, bush tit nest.